Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to episode 3 of A Day in the Life of a DJ. It's been a long time since I did episode 2. A lot of things have happened, and we're going to break it down. A few weeks ago, I did something called a Reddit AMA. It was pretty cool. For those of you that don't know, and don't go to Reddit, AMA means Ask Me Anything. I signed up and I shared my story. I got a lot of really good questions. Everything from what ethnicity throws the best wedding, to how much do you make? The Reddit community asked me a ton of questions. Goofy questions, serious questions, a lot of which I gave answers to the best that I could. Some of them were off the wall, but a lot of them were really good, like a bride who was really looking for some good advice about hiring a DJ. All the way to the guy who wanted to know how much money I made. Why you'd want to know that, I don't know. Click the link below and you can check it out. One really good question was from another DJ. It asked me, how bad do I want to slap DJs that make a playlist and just coast through their event? We're going to talk about that later. I had so much fun doing it, I'm even going to extend the AMA to this video. So if you really want to ask me anything, and I mean anything, put it in the comment section below, and I'll get back to you. Alright, so in the DJ community, there's been a lot of flack about production DJs versus what I would consider a real DJ. deadmau5 has done an article. It was more of a blog, and most recently DJ A-Trak, one of the greatest DJs of all times, did an article in the Huffington Post. In the article, he talks about how DJs are being labeled as button pushers, and as they're moving from their booth in the club to festival stages, it's not about DJing anymore, it's about the production, the lighting, the spectacle of it. Now most of this comes from the EDM or electronic dance music movement that's gone on in the last, well, it's been going on for a while. Things I want to talk about. 1. Button pushers. Paris Hilton, Lindsay Lohan, Elijah Wood, Prince Charles, Sasha Grey, a porn star, Justin Bieber, they're all trying to become DJs. They're not. They're button pushers. To be a DJ takes years and years of refining what you're doing. DJing is cool. It's a lot cooler than it used to be. It used to be kind of, not so cool. But it's happening on a celebrity level for sideshow type purposes. It's also happening in the real world, in my world. There are people that claim to be DJs that have nothing more than an iPod and some junky speakers and one DJ light, and they're going to do your wedding. Beware. Be afraid. Be very afraid. You might think you're getting a deal. Going to Craigslist, finding the guy that's going to charge you 40, 50 bucks an hour to do your wedding. He's a hobbyist. He probably works at Best Buy, somewhere else. He's got another job. He's not a professional DJ. You will probably regret that decision. Article, A-Trak is basically calling out all these people as being button pushers. He's disagreeing with deadmau5 about being a button pusher. How this affects you is that on their level, A-Trak, Paris Hilton level, it corresponds directly to our level, me as a DJ. There's button pusher DJs out there that are out there to do events for you. They might be cheap, but there's a reason that they're cheap. They don't have insurance. They don't do this as their main source of income. They don't care like we care. Don't hire a button pusher for your wedding, or you get that. Paris Hilton DJing your wedding. Moving on. Product review. Usually we review a product here that DJs use, but we're going to change it a little bit. We're going to talk about photo booths. There's a lot of different models a lot of different manufacturers. Choosing the right photo booth can mean the difference between keeping your photo booth working and having it collect dust in your shop. If a photo booth is the main feature of your party, picking the right one will make the difference between a great party and an party. We bought our first photo booth earlier this year. I based my judgment on which model to get after watching people walk by the manufacturer's booth. I made the trip to Las Vegas earlier this year to Mobile Beat number 16, and there was a myriad of different photo booth manufacturers. Everything from entry level to premium top of the line photo booths. I spent time in each manufacturer's booth talking to sales representatives, looking at the different models, but mostly I watched people's reaction walking around and looking at the booths themselves. So standing at a distance and watching people react to the different booths helped me make my decision. After 2 days of walking around and talking to the different manufacturers, I narrowed my search down to a Kingdom photo booth. And they make a couple different styles. I had my heart set on a sit-down style photo booth. It was similar to the one that almost everybody's familiar with. 2 people go in the booth, you sit down, and you take your picture. The same type you see at the movie theater or the mall. I almost signed on the dotted line for that model until I took the time to sit down and people watch at the booth. Customers would come up, they would initially look at the booth that I wanted to purchase, but then they would walk over to the other booth and they would use that booth. They didn't actually use the one that you sat down in. That was very telling for me. I sat there another 10 minutes and I kept watching to see if this would keep happening, and it did. Eventually, almost everyone gravitated towards the other booth. There's a couple different styles of photo booths. The one that I was originally going to get, which is the sit-down style, the one you see at the mall and the movie theaters, and they're great, they're fantastic, if you only want to fit 2 people in your pictures. But I started watching these people, and they would go get their friends from a different part of the show, and 2, 4, 6 people were getting into these pictures and having more fun than the traditional 2-person booth. 2 people in a booth is fun. 8 people in a booth is a party. What I started to notice is that the right photo booth brought out the child, the inner child within every adult that was there, because there was no kids. It was all basically DJs and photo booth owners looking to upgrade or add to their arsenal, if you will, of photo booths. They had more fun in the booth that I ended up getting, which was called the Prince style booth with a Z at the end. The Kingdom photo booth, Prince booth, is not the entry level booth. It's a premium level booth, and it's very, very noticeable if you start to research photo booth companies, what they have to offer as far as equipment. Number 1, the Kingdom booth prints out your physical photo strips in 7.5 seconds. It's the fastest in the world. B, it's the best looking of all of them. Its manufacturing is phenomenal. 3, I fit up to 8 people in this booth. It's a stand-up booth. Now think about that. If you have this booth at your wedding, would you rather be in tight, constrained, formal clothing and then have to sit down and take a picture? Or would you rather stand up and have your friends with you? Kind of a no-brainer. Kingdom Photo Booth offers Facebook integration. It'll post these pictures right to your Facebook page. It will email the pictures to you. It will record a 30-second video. And at the end of the night, we put it all on a DVD for you to keep. We can customize the bottom of the photo strip. So each photo strip has 1, 2, 3 pictures, and then at the bottom we create a custom logo for you, and it is printed out on every single photo strip. It makes the best instant party favor. It also makes a great guest book, scrapbook. You have a scrapbook at your event, you have a pen, and you have some double-sided tape. And you have your guests take one of their photo strips, put it in the scrapbook, write you a little note, It's wonderful to keep. Props. It changes the party. Alright, now for some wisdom. Failing to prepare is preparing to fail. John Wooden. Very, very, very important for any event, for anything really in life. And it applies the same as Murphy's Law. I always carry spares for gear. I'm prepared. If something happens, I'm good. I'm not gonna fail. I won't let it happen. Brides, same thing. Talk with your DJs. Communication is the key. Always have a plan B. Plan B and Plan C. The most successful, fun weddings are when there's a constant communication stream between myself and the bride. It's extremely important. From our first meeting all the way down to music selection, we have to prepare. It's crucial that we do that. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.